So I'm going to go away a little bit from specifics into ideas, because I think it is very important sometimes to talk about ideas. I was asked 3 weeks ago by one of our founders in another country, not in Turkey. He asked me, why are you doing Alif in Turkey? What is so special about Turkey? Why you do this activity in Turkey? Why not doing it in Italy? Why not in Malaysia? Why not in Qatar? So I told him because Turkey has a unique position, positive position. And then I just said that and start talking to my friends who are Turkish professors. I say, what is unique about Turkey? You know? And I heard a lot of pessimistic stories, a lot of negativities. Okay? And you probably now saying, yes, we deserve, we have little, we have this, we have that. I want to tell you a little bit about Turkey. And that's a very bold statement, I guess, coming from me. But I want you to know, you are right now the country number 7 in the world in the number of students that you are teaching. Turkey is teaching 7.7 million people out of its population. That's number 7 in the world in terms of total number. But you know what? If you divide this number by the population of the country, do you know that Turkey is country number 1 in the world? You are educating more of your youngsters than America, than China, than India, than Iran, than Indonesia, than all of these countries. Turkey is educating more of its population than any other country in the world. And that statistic, go and search for it, you will find it. It was amazing to me that in the last week I was meeting with 2 senior advisors for the president of Turkey. And I explained to them this, and they were saying, we are surprised. These numbers make, wow, we didn't know that. This is very important. Do you know that Turkey has opened a new university in the last 20 years every 6 weeks? Do you know that? You know the math better than me. Year 2000, there was this number of universities. Today you have 210 universities. The year is 52 weeks. You can do the math. You know that right now, China is opening a new university every 9 days. Every 9 days for the last 10 years. Every 9 days, there is a new university. So we are here to stay. Some of my colleagues coming from Europe, like Leila, they have a different picture there. Universities are closing. Yeah. Universities are consolidating. You go to talk to Americans, they will tell you that we have a big problem in universities. We're losing students. But the world is increasing. The number of universities is increasing all over the world, and Turkey is leading in that. I know that we have some pessimistic, and I know that some of you would say, you know, Bassem, you know, you talk about numbers, but how about quality? And I'm leaving this to Jian, and maybe Isra in the afternoon they talk about the quality of education. But I can tell you that it always starts with quantity, then quality. That's always the case. We always spread knowledge, and then we try to perfect and be better. So I hate people when they are very pessimistic, when they are very negative, especially about their own country, about their own universities, about their own selves. If you're going to spread negativism, what are you expecting from your youngsters, from your own students, from people around you? Universities started about God. That was the situation. 1,000 years, 1,000 years ago, And in Egyptians, we say 5,000 years ago, we'd like to be starting everything. But actually, we did start a university called Own University. It was on the outskirts of Cairo today. And it started 5,000 years ago. It was teaching, God. 1,000 years ago, Bologna University started about God. This is how university started. And then, university made a shift to be about the professor. Most of the universities in Europe started as the professor. Most of the universities in Arabia and even in Turkey started about the professor, the master, the person who knows everything, and he's going to share his wisdom, his knowledge with us. The university was about the professor. Then came the Industrial Revolution, came the need for a lot of more universities, came the need for labor people, markets. So the university became about the student. But the student here is the worker, the person who's going to be trained to work, to get more income, to push the Industrial Revolution. And then suddenly, in the past 10, 15 years, we're now about a beauty contest. Universities are about universities. Which one is the bigger? Which one is the more beautiful? Which one that has swimming pools? Which one that is on the hell? Which one is like hell? Whatever. It was about the university. So we had the rankings, and the ranking became a marketing tool, not a measure for quality, not a measure of achievement. It's a marketing tool. And this is fading away. What is happening now? What is coming is the university is regaining the role, like what Lira was saying. It's about society. It's about who we are as human beings. My friend Irai, we know each other maybe 25 years ago, talked about memorization. I just want to say something. Without memorization, we would not have universities. Other creatures don't have universities. All the way from angels and devil, all the way down to ants. Why they don't have universities? Why? Because they didn't have the desire of memorizing and transferring memory. History is only a human being thing. It's about capturing things, preserving them, transferring them. Isn't that what university is all about? So without memorization, Irai, we would not have universities, because it created the urge for us as human beings not to only have knowledge, not to only preserve knowledge, but more importantly, to transfer knowledge. That is what teaching is. It's to transfer the knowledge. That's what history is, transfer the knowledge. And then we became the custodian of knowledge. We became the people who preserve knowledge for humanity. We became the storage of knowledge. But not only that, each one of us, is becoming and actually is also a storage of wisdom, ideas, innovations, thoughts. It's not about numbers. I hate it when we only talk about numbers. Numbers are important to strengthen the meanings. University is about human progress. University is about where we're heading. University is not. So we had 3 levels of the universities. There are the universities that historically got the knowledge, preserved the knowledge, transferred the knowledge. It was all about dealing with knowledge. But then recently, universities shifted to become training camps. You are preparing individuals to hit the job market. So the kid would not go to a school to fulfill his desire. Any one of our kids would go to the school because you're going to make money. Go for a doctor. Why Turkish people, why Egyptian people go only for medical and engineering? Because our parents thought that this is where you will make money. This is where you will make prestige. I never wanted to be a structural engineer, to be honest with you. I wanted to be a political scientist. And my father at that time, brought me very lousy failure cases of political science and say, here's, if you want to be a political science, you'll be looking like them. He didn't show me Isra. He just showed me someone who's just like, collecting garbage in the streets and say, if you want to be a political science, that's there. Why engineering? Why? Because we thought that this is the best for our kids. But actually, all these developing countries like Egypt, like Turkey, like many of these countries, when we forgot about literature, we became behind. It's not about science and technology, it's about ideas. It's about society. So, universities were about knowledge, then it shifted to become training camps. And this is, we are moving away from this again, because it is not sufficient to produce a person who can make a good salary out there in the market. That's not going to make a good university. A good university tomorrow is about another word. And that's what I would like to leave you with. The word, the most important word that the university should be about is success. All the different types of success. We should help individuals, students, succeed in their career, succeed in their relations, succeed in managing their affairs, succeed in managing their emotions and their sustainability, their personal sustainability. The most important word to me tomorrow for universities is we should be the producers and keepers of success for humanity. That's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy, but it is doable. So, what is my last message to each and every one of us when you deal with the students? Number one, connect them with society. Connect them with the society that they are living in. One of the statistics that is not showing when we talk about Turkey having 210 universities, it is not about just having 210 universities. Where are these universities? They are in very remote areas. I mean, there is a state university now in every province in Turkey. Is that correct or not? Taking the knowledge to the people. I always tell a story, and I would like to end this story, this session with it. I was in Malaysia about 9 months ago, and I visited all the big universities, and then I asked for a different university. So I was told there is a university far in an area called Kelantan, 9 hours drive from Kuala Lumpur. Being a person affected by American style of things, I took the car and said, let's go. 9 hours, mountains, rain, very narrow roads. I was just in the middle of the night saying to myself, what am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? And then I arrived, and it was a very small city. There was really nothing significant there. Very poor. Mostly fishermen. And then in the morning, a car comes to take us to the university. And we go through all of these poor areas. And then suddenly, there is this heaven on earth. There is that beacon of light. There is that university that is not showing in the ranking of any system in the world. But without that university in that place, so much knowledge is gone, is wasted, is not existing. Now, I meet the president, sat with him and talked and asked, why this university is here? He said, this university is everything for this province. This university is the whole thing. It's the place of knowledge, it's the place of experts, it's the place of community, it's everything. Where are you in the ranking? We don't exist. We don't exist. What if we take this university and say, if you are not in the ranking system, please give room to the, big universities. We're missing it. We will be missing the whole point. My point is, forget about ranking. think about your responsibility. If you are in a far-reaching university and you are there, everybody's looking up to you. Everybody's looking up to your ideas, what you have. You are the future. And all these universities that are not on the ranking system are the universities that are shaping the future of humanity. Connect with society. This man, the president of Clinton University, told me, would you like to take lunch? Well, of course, I mean, an American or an Egyptian, you never say no to lunch. And he said, I want to take you to a very small village next to us where the farmer who has a very small restaurant, this guy is helping all the poor families, so they go in the morning and fish, and he buy from them their fishery. And he said that I am, as a university president, I truly believe in supporting this man because he is supporting his community. Would you like to go lunch there? And he said, yeah, we go. So we go by the car, and then the car stops, and we have to go walking because there is no roads anymore. And this very, very poor, restaurant had the best food that we ever had. And my wife is here, and she can attest to that. We couldn't stop eating, but there was something inside us that we are helping the society in this lunch. Taking this lunch, we are helping the society of Clinton. We felt it because the president made us feel it. He could have taken me to the best restaurant in Clinton. What would it be? Another steak? Another chicken? And of course, Leila doesn't like chicken, and she wants me to say another macaroni, But in reality, it wasn't the food. It was the atmosphere. It was the feel. I want to leave you with this. You can have an impact on your own society, on your own university, on your students. Tell them a story. Tell them something that they can do in their community. Look at their community. It's very sad sometimes to see a university far detached from the community that is in it, because there are some of us who wants to join Harvard and, Stanford. They are good, but we are also very good. They do what they can, but we also can do a lot more. It's not a beauty contest. It's not about your rank. It is about how people around you see you and see your university. Thank you.